it's Craig here, back again to finish off this Lua tutorial. So we've been building this little tower defense mini game, to show how to use Lua for scripting in Total Miner. So when we start the game, we click this button to start the game, and the enemies come out here and they walk down this path, and if they make it to the end, you lose lives, and then if you lose 10 lives you die, or the game's over. And you can purchase towers here. There's two types of towers you can purchase. One is 150 credits or cash, and one is 200. I'll just show you the game quickly. So we click start here. You can see the HUD counters in the top right. So we purchase one of those. We purchase two of those, and then we place the markers, towers down here. For some reason that has not. Okay, and another one there. So you'll see when these guys go out that door, you'll see our lives go down. Notification top left. So once your lives get down to 0, it's the game's over. So it looks like these two towers can cope with these zombies. So this would effectively go on forever. Every time we kill one, we get 1 kill up there, and we get 5 cash. Obviously when we get enough cash, we can buy another tower. So I'm going to click this button to stop the game and show you how it's made. So we've got three things here. We've got the spawner block here for the enemies. We've got these spawners for the towers, and when we place a tower, it effectively copies one of these to wherever we want to place it. So it copies those attributes. And then we have some scripts. Actually, we have 2 behaviors. There's a behavior for this guy, which is a very simple behavior. It's waypoint based, so we set some waypoints along this path here, and they just basically follow those waypoints. And they despawn at the end on the last waypoint. And then we also check the distance from that last block, and if we're close enough, we run this escape script here, and then we make the enemy inactive. So that script there, it says it notifies a zombie has escaped. We decrement the lives history, which is that HUD counter on the top right, and we check if the lives is less than 1, then it's game over, and then it runs a script to clean up the game. The other NPC behavior is on these towers. And it actually should be there. And I think those are going to need exits on them. So it just comes in here, it tries to find a zombie there for up to 10 blocks away, a field of view of 60 degrees, and then if it finds one, it turns towards it to look at it, and then it swings its hand, which effectively shoots its gun. If we don't see one, we wait for a third of a second, and then after that we this down here is just basically picking one of the four corners of the arena, and we just turn to look at one of those four corners, and because it's randomized, it means that the tower effectively turns around and sort of covers all directions within a second or two. And of course we only have one max instance here. It spawns instantly. The proximity is within 100 blocks, so it covers the whole arena. That's proximity to the player to make sure they spawn. No kill script. It has custom inventory. It has the Terminator has a shotgun and bullets, and the robotic has a pistol and bullets. And that's it, really. So these ones here, there's a buy tower script, and this history here is just set to 1 when the game starts. It's just used as a way that scripts can tell if the game's actually been played. So if that's 0, there's no game in progress, so it won't do anything. It'll only do this if it's greater than 0 and there's a game in progress. So it sets the price of this tower to 150. It checks here if the cash, if there's enough cash to buy it, it's greater than or equal to the price. It's a history. That's also the HUD counter at the top right, the yellow one. And if we do have enough cash, we decrement the cash by the price, subtract the price from the cash, and we add 1 to this, excuse me, we add 1 to this tower 1 history, which is basically telling us how many towers we have that we can place down, that we've bought. If we don't have enough cash, it just says not enough cash. And tower 2 is, buying tower 2 is the same. And the other scripts we have, so the start script says game started, sets that to 1, that's that game on history. So all the other scripts know there's a game on. Creates the HUD counters here, clears the player inventory, sets up the histories for the counters, clears the tower history. It sets this event script for when you press the button X. So you press button X to place a tower, and it runs that script there to place the tower. And it just says, gives you a warning that you've got 10 seconds before the wave starts, so you can buy your towers and get them placed before the first enemies come out. And the last thing it does is set the power on for the enemy NPC spawner, which is this one here. You see here it requires power, so this only will spawn enemies if the power's on. You'll also see the script at the end. Not that one, sorry. It also powers off that spawner. And this cleans up all the state of the game. Now one thing I'm not happy with is, is there anything else I haven't covered here? So place tower, it gets the cursor point, which is your white cursor, the block that it's on, that is the cursor point. So the script gets that cursor point. It checks the history. If we have any tower 2 history, that means we've purchased some tower 2s that we can place. So we copy the appropriate NPC tower block into the cursor position here, and we decrement the tower 2 history, so we can only place as many as we have. And if there isn't a tower 2, it checks that tower 1, copies that appropriate one, and then also decrements that. So it always places the the, the most powerful tower first, and then it works backwards to the least powerful ones. That's if you have more than one, if you purchased more than one different type of tower. Typically you'll just have one type in there. So what I want it to do is when we start, see it's got X place tower there, but firstly I don't have any towers to place yet. Press X, doesn't do anything. And secondly, I want that to tell me I want that to say what sort of tower I actually have to place. So to change that, in the start game script, I'm not going to set this here. I'm only going to set this when you buy a tower. And I'm going to set it to the type of tower that you have. So I'm actually going to create a new script for that because I need to call it from two different places. And I'm going to call it set button X event. And if we have tower 2s, I'm going to use those first. And the text is going to be placed tower 2. Else if we have tower 1, we'll place tower 1, else we're going to remove that. We don't want any text on there. And by doing, and to do that, you just simply remove that. I think that's fairly clear how that works. Oops, what did I just do? So we're going to call that script in here. Set let's call it set button X. It's easier to remember. Set button X. And we'll do it in here. And we also want to do it here because if your towers run out, we want to cancel, right? Cancel that script, cancel that event. Okay, let's give that a go. Start the game, timer's on. There's no place tower message, which is good. I purchase one. Now it says place tower 1, excellent. And I place it. And the message has gone away. I want to get probably not going to be able to. Place tower 1. Okay, that seems to be working. Excuse me. Cancel that. Let's try the tower 2. Place tower 2. Okay, that looks like it's working. Happy with that. Now, really the last thing it needs to make it kind of complete is it needs to, well, I mean to make it playable, is it needs to have waves. So at the moment it just has one continuous wave. So